Dang, touch
All right.
balls on my knee. That's my ass bug.
Good morning. All right, so first topic is one that Devin brought up, which I'm assuming came from all of you. When you guys are packing, make sure you're looking under the beds. Bottom drawer of the stove is overlooked a lot. Dishwasher items, you really shouldn't have to. Customers should be unloading those or pointing them out to you, but double check. Obviously, if they're dirty, tell them to run the fucking dishwasher. We're not packing dirty dishes. Gross. But if they're clean, there's no reason why we can't pack out a dishwasher. Really didn't, but you know, it is what it is, as long as it's clean. Do not pack dirty dishes. Those areas are typically forgotten in the pack jobs. So make sure you check in those. Lampshades are also kind of, they're taken off. You forget that they're supposed to be packed because we're not the ones loading, we're just packing them. Lampshades have to be packed. That's part of the packer's responsibility. Again, another thing that's easily forgotten during a pack. Also, just double checking the garages. There's always lots of stuff in the garage. Where's Dad? Okay. Also, people tend to avoid garages. There's lots of stuff to pack in there, so make sure you're checking in there. Make sure the stuff is supposed to be packed. Also, make sure you're challenging packing. You guys have paperwork when you're going into pack jobs, what you're supposed to be packing. Looks like it's going to be more. Call it in. Don't just keep packing. Call it in sooner than later. Give us the opportunity to get with the salespeople. Don't wait till 3 o'clock in the afternoon to give us a call saying packing's going over. It really doesn't afford us much time to make any corrections.
Now, if that, do we call a sales person or ops?
Call ops. Start with ops. And I mean, I like the fact that you guys have a good relationship with our salespeople. And if they're busy, they might ask you to call a salesperson. But start with ops. I mean, it's ops' responsibility. But again, we all work together. They might be tied up with something, and hey, can you just give so-and-so a call? But I would rather go with ops because I mean, we want to make sure that you guys are taken care of and being paid. That's our responsibility. That's ops' responsibility. Okay. That's why I wanted to go to us first.
Well, then it also gives us the availability to actually get with the salesperson and actually get it in writing. So we usually send an email when we challenge things just so we have it in writing. So.
Additionally, with calling ops first, I mean, then we know if you need support, you need more pack material. Sooner we know also, the sooner we can get you some more support, more pack material to figure out. Or if we need to add another day, if we had a plan for going back out there following day that we were initially planning for, just gives us more of a heads up as well. Any questions? Anything to add to any of that?
So just on the on your sheet, it says basically how many that have been quoted. So you just can reach that, and then if there's anything more, then that's when you call.
Right. Well, I mean, a lot of you have been packing for a while. You kind of can tell. Say you're going into doing a partial pack. It's only 30 units. You do walk through the customer. You can kind of tell at that point that it might be on. I think all of you are pretty much at that point. You guys can kind of envision that, right?
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to add to Devin's topic was on military packs, nothing can be left in drawers. And they might have brought this up in a previous meeting. I just want to make sure I'm reiterating it. Military packs, nothing in drawers. Military packs, nothing is PVO. Everything is CP. You can open up a box that's packed by the owner, and make sure it's all good, seal it back up, write CP on it. You get credit for that pack, but we have to take responsibility for it.
It's not totes either, right?
Huh?
It's not totes either.
Same with
The
totes.
has to be wrapped
Yep.
in brown.
Totes need to be wrapped in brown. So you wrap it in, inspect the pack, make sure everything's secure in there, wrap it in brown, write CP, and then you just write the closest size box to that. So if the tote's roughly the size of 4.5, it's a 4.5 box on your inventory. Right, Nick? The other topic was doing moves with nobody there. The customer has to have someone there. There has to be an adult, a representative from the customer there at all times. If the customer has to leave, we have to leave. If the customer's not there, we can't be there. I know it's ideal when we're doing pack jobs and other stuff for the customer to be out of our hair and gone, but it puts a huge liability on us, and we cannot be there without someone from the customer there. If the customer has to leave or the customer's not there, make sure you're, again, relaying to operations what the situation is, and they will direct you accordingly. But I wanna make sure that's clear that we cannot leave a home without an adult from the customer there.
Just packing or all of it?
All of it, all of it. I mean, without them there, it puts liability, it's the he said, she said, and we have no recourse because they weren't there. And we lose on the he said, she said every time. Theft claims, property damage, it's all 100% on us at that point. That's why it is not allowed. Any questions? Everyone understand why? Okay. Last topic is, so some of you might have noticed Corey Simmons was added to our group chat last week. Corey is the GM of Cheyenne, for those of you who don't know. So what's happening is, and I want you guys just to be in the loop as to what our plan is. We're gonna be integrating 869 staff into our group. A lot of success that NOCO has had is our ability to cross-utilize equipment and crew between Longmont and Fort Collins. Now logistically, it makes perfect sense for us to be able to do the exact same thing with Cheyenne, Fort Collins, or even Longmont. It's not that far away. But there's no reason why all three of us can't be working together. What that does is it creates more work for all of you. It creates more support for all of you. It creates more equipment. It creates just more altogether. So that's why we're pushing for that. That's our goal this year, is to fully integrate their staff into ours. Corey is still the GM of Cheyenne. I'm still the GM down here. He's still responsible for it, but we want them to be incorporated into how we do things. We want them to incorporate into our culture, into our structure, how we operate. We want them to operate the same as us, as opposed to us operating similar to them. Make sense? So over the next few days, I'm actually gonna go up there tomorrow to have a crew meeting with their crew and explain to them what our vision is and what we're planning on doing, so everyone's on the same page. And then you're gonna start seeing all their crew, all their staff, it's not a lot, added into our Johnson team group. That's the first step. And we just want them to see how we communicate, how we operate. You're also gonna see our dispatch page gonna get longer. You know, we have Fort Collins, Longmont, Englewood. You're gonna see Cheyenne in there too. So that's our first step, and it's just gonna grow from there. Any questions about any of that?
Are we gonna have to start going to Wyoming now too?
Yes. So the reason being is, I think it's a good opportunity for us because Fort Collins is a small town. There's only so much work. As you can tell, Fort Collins guys are down here in Longmont working today. There's only so much work in Fort Collins. So, and we're growing. And in order to keep everyone fed, it makes sense for us to do more work in Cheyenne or Laramie. There's no reason why we can't. Because it's actually quicker to drive from Fort Collins to Cheyenne than it is from Fort Collins to here. So it makes sense. However, we're kind of drawing a line with going on base. I don't want our crew to go on base. I want to make sure if we're going up there to help them out, we're going up there to do stuff off base. Well, their crew is on base. Reason being is that base just is a pain in the ass to get on and off. And if we're traveling up there to go do a job, the last thing we want to do is spend another hour, 2 hours just to get on base. It's not worth it. It's a pain in the ass. But there's plenty of work off base, and it's good paying work, and it's just a way for us to continue to grow and expand. And it'll help them grow and expand. The more that we can support them, the more they can hire, and the more, I feel, the more they can get to our level of structure and culture, they can grow as well. And then we're not pulling, ICs from the Denver market to come up to CSU to help us do work. We're pulling from Cheyenne. It just makes more sense. Any questions, concerns, any input? Any of that? Any other topics you guys want to bring?